So come to a comfortable seated position. In Kundalini, you want to have a direct line of energy from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. So make sure you're sitting nice and tall in front of those sits bones. Both sits bones grounded into the mat. Let the shoulders relax down the back, palms of the hands on the knees, and just slowly let the energy settle. Not worrying about what came before this class, what's coming after this class. Gently close the eyes, letting the energy settle into the body. So today we're focusing on draining the lymphatic system and bringing overall healing to the body. So you can maybe set a mantra or an intention, just reminding yourself that you're circulating this healing energy through every cell in your body. Gently flutter the eyes open. Start to rub the palms together just to ground that energy further into your body. Feel the friction. You can bring that to a stop. Thumb knuckles into the heart space. We begin every Kundalini Kriya session with the Adi mantra. This is non-negotiable. This tunes your body and gets it set for practice. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. It means I bow to those that have come before me, the inner wisdom that resides within, and all those affected by my energy. So take a nice big inhale. As you inhale, the belly goes outward. Tongue to the roof of the mouth. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Side out, second round, big inhale, fill up the belly. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Last one, big inhale, fill up the belly. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Side out, scoop the hands, release, and bring from the bottom of the shoulder blades all the way up. Reach, reach, reach the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, cleanse the aura. One more time, nice big inhale. Scoop the energy up, bring it up. Fingertips plugging into the sky. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, hands on the knees. We're gonna start with some spinal flexion. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Seal the lips. Tiny space between the teeth, tongue to the roof of the mouth. Exhale, you're gonna round the spine, chin to the chest, all the air out. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Through the nose, you're just gently warming up that root chakra, the base of the spine. Keep it going, we're here for 2 minutes. So this pumping action of the spine is waking up that cerebral spinal fluid. Make sure you're expanding the collarbone. That's going to open and drain those thoracic ducts. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So the mobility of the spine is most greatly associated with longevity. So you've probably heard people say you're only as young as your spine is flexible. The ancient yogi said that all the time. Inhale, exhale. Find your rhythm. You want to move with your breath. So don't follow what I'm doing. Follow your breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, Exhale, like your pelvic bowl is a triangle. The two sits bones and the pubic bone on front. You're tapping the back, tapping the front. So it's like this movement of the pelvic bowl. The breath is super important because it's charging up that cerebral spinal fluid. So typically you can have anywhere from 2 to 4 milliliters of cerebral spinal fluid in your spine. At the end of a Kundalini class, after we've manipulated your spine in so many different directions, you will double the amount of cerebral spinal fluid. So you'll have about 6 to 8 milliliters, which you can then use to cleanse the brain ventricles, cleanse the kidneys, cleanse the liver, cleanse the nervous system. We're gonna hit it all today. You have 5 more seconds. And on the inhale, fill it up. Hold the breath at the top. Hold, hold, hold. So belly's out. Exhale, release. Thumbs to the front of the shoulders, or to the back of the shoulders, sorry. Fingertips to the front. We're gonna go through for some spinal twists. So you're gonna inhale left, exhale right for 2 minutes, begin. So the twisting is coming from the abdominal area. This is gonna drain the abdominal lymph nodes. So keep the belly button engaged. Pumping through the breath. You can add the gaze if it doesn't make you dizzy. So if you get dizzy, just keep looking ahead. Otherwise, we also call these washing machines because we're cleansing out all of the glands and all of the organs in that abdominal region, including the lymph nodes. So you may or may not know the lymph nodes are the only cells in the body that don't have their own pumps. So we have to kind of do these little manipulations with the breath to help drain and pump them. Keep those elbows even with the shoulders. So go at your own pace. If you want to add some fire to your practice and speed it up, just make sure the breath matches the movement. You're breaking up the fascia around the diaphragm. The diaphragm basically is what controls the nervous system because it controls the breath, which controls the heart rate. So you want to make sure you don't have any fascial adhesions around your diaphragm area. If you're feeling tightness or pulling in your chest, that could be an indicator that we need to work on the fascia in that area. So just stick with it. You're almost there. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. Lift up the elbows, hold the breath at the top, hold, hold, hold. Apply the root lock, so squeeze your pelvic floor up and in like it's an elevator. Hold, hold, hold. Release, hands to the knees, Sufi grinds counterclockwise. Inhale forward, exhale back. So we always start with counterclockwise to clear the old energy in the body. So if there's something you need to get rid of in your life, you can focus on clearing it out. Counterclockwise energy is typically the way the cerebral spinal fluid flows, the direction in your spinal cord. So this may feel a little bit more intuitive than when we switch to clockwise, but this is what's clearing and cleansing out your bad energy, or not necessarily bad, but things we just need to let go of. And this drains out the inguinal area. So this area right here in the lower pelvis region, this is one of the most neglected lymph node sets. Like if you talk to any oncologist, a lot of people's blockages in their lymph system will start in the inguinal area. So this one is super important. So make the motion as big as your hips will allow. Keep the breath through the nose. Inhale forward, exhale back. We're going to bring it into the abdominals. So start to make it smaller. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward. Like your belly button is drawing a counterclockwise circle using your abdominal muscles around your spine. And switch directions. Inhale forward, exhale back. So we're going clockwise now. You can make it a little bigger. Clockwise calls in new energy. So you want to focus on what you want to call into your life, that person you want to be. Your energy dictates who you are. The internal dictates the external, right? So as above, so below, as within, so without. So what's going on internally is what's being visible externally. The person you came here to be, your dharma, is dependent on the energetic terrain of your inside body. So it's like this belly button is following the clock, 12, 3, 6, 9. Start to tighten it up now, okay? So bring it into the abdominals. Inhale forward, exhale back. You're drawing that circle around the spine. Just getting that whole inguinal area, just cleansing it out. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Big inhale at the center. Hold the breath. Apply the root lock. Pull it up and in. Mula Bandha engage. Up, up, up. Like an elevator. And release the root lock, release the breath. Coming into all fours, we're going into cat-cow. So cat-cow is one of the most transformative kriya sets in Kundalini yoga. We're basically bringing now this charged cerebral spinal fluid into the brain area. So people who have strokes, people who have neurological Parkinson's, dementia, they get calcifications in their brain ventricles. This is one of the most potent kriyas for preventing that. So we're pumping the spine now through the belly. So come into all fours. Shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. You're going to inhale, let the belly drop, open the throat, look to the sky, and then exhale, pull the chin to the chest, push the ground away. So see this doming in my shoulders? This is important. This is getting the cerebral spinal fluid into the brain. One more time, inhale. Drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round the chin to the chest. We're going to go faster here for 3 minutes. If your neck bothers you, you don't have to use the head. Begin. Inhale, exhale. Find that pelvic tuck and pelvic tilt. That's what's charging and pumping the abdominal muscles and getting that cerebral spinal fluid going to the brain. Inhale, exhale. Stay strong, you can do it. 2 more minutes. Look to that belly button. One minute left. You've got it. Keep up and you will be kept up. The energy of the group doing this together is helping you through. Even if we're not practicing here together in person, us doing this together energetically bonds us. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep that Mula Bandha engaged, so belly button to the spine, pelvic floor pulled up and in on that top. You have 10 seconds left. Last two. Last one. Inhale, exhale, tuck, hold the breath. So you're holding empty, all the breath is out. Pull the Mula Bandha in. Belly button to the spine, hold empty. And inhale, extend the right leg back, look up. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale out, exhale in. So this right side is where our liver is. This is where we hold all of our anger emotions. So you'll see people who have anger issues who don't work on their liver will end up with things like hepatitis C, cirrhosis, liver cancer. Exhale, inhale. Liver's the most important organ in detoxifying the body. So as you pull that knee in, think about that compression on the liver. Exhale out, inhale, extend. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale for 3, 2, last one. Exhale, inhale, extend, and hold the belly full. Hold, hold, hold. Exhale, bring that right knee down. Inhale, extend the left. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, begin. So the left side is the kidney. Kidney is where we store all of our fear, all of our insecurities. So people who are insecure, fearful, even if you're afraid of things that don't really make sense, it's a kidney issue. So on that left side, as you bring the knee in, think about compression and exhaling on that kidney area. Five more. 3, 2, 1. Extend, inhale, hold the breath. Hold, hold, hold. Apply the root lock. And exhale, bring that knee down. Come into kneeling. So we're going to go into fighter pose. This one's great for all of the lymph nodes in the collarbone and in the armpit area. So you're just going to hit your chest. So yogis say if you do this for about 7 minutes, which we're not going to do right now because we don't have 7 minutes to do this, but you're dissipating 7 years worth of anger. So use your thumb knuckles, hit hard, don't hurt yourself, but get rid of all of this pent up anger in the body. So we pumped a lot of it out. So the thing with Kundalini is a lot of times in yoga classes, teachers will work on your hips or they'll work on certain things, but they won't pump that energy out of the body or hit it out or get rid of it. And so you don't want to just release all of this anger or fear emotion that has been trapped in your organs and then just leave it. So really hit it, feel the vibrations, and let it out of your body. All right, good job, guys. Nice big inhale, reach the arms up. We're gonna drain the lymph nodes in our armpits all the way down. So for women, this one's super important to prevent breast cancer. The armpits, the sides of the hips. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, feel that vibration. So you're really squeezing and getting that lymph drain. Inhale up, exhale, pull down. Squeeze, make contact with the elbow to the hip. Less than 30 seconds left, you can do it. Three, 2, 1, inhale big. Hold the breath, apply the root lock. Hold, hold, hold. Slowly comb the aura, release the pelvic floor squeeze. Fingertips plant into the earth here, and we're just gonna let all of that integrate what we just did. So squeeze the chin to the chest and gently roll the left ear to the left shoulder. Feel the stretch on the right side. Exhale through center. Inhale, right ear to the right shoulder. So we're clearing out this 5th chakra, your voice, what you should be saying, what you shouldn't be saying. Sometimes we don't speak when we need to, and that's a 5th chakra issue. We don't stand up for ourselves. We might be completely yes people, completely no people, or the opposite. We may be talking too much. And that also ties into the thyroid here. So a lot of women are just people pleasers, yes people, don't, set boundaries, and they have a lot of thyroid and hormone issues, and that's all right here, 5th chakra. All right, cross at the ankles, lay on the back. We're going into stretch pose with lymph pumps. This one's super hard, sort of. So modify as you need to. We're gonna lay on the back. And you can, if you need to, have your hands under here. We're gonna lift the head 6 inches, lift the legs 6 inches, hold, and we're gonna pump through fire breath. So fire breath is exhaling out the nose, but pumping the belly. You're not gonna focus on the inhale. You're just, all right? So lift the legs, lift the head, begin. If you need to drop a leg to make it more accessible for you, switch off the legs, but keep up. We're only gonna be here for about another minute. You can do it. Ten seconds, you got it, keep going. Inhale big, hold the breath, apply the root lock, hold, 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 lift the legs, lift the head, hold the breath. Exhale, release it out, squeeze, hug the knees into the chest. Just take a moment here. Fire breath is the most potent potent breath work we use in Kundalini. So a lot of times when you hear people say like holotropic breathing or trying to tap into their DMT, that's fire breath. Release the feet to the mat. So you want to be able to touch your ankles here in a bridge pose. Lift the hips up at the same time. See if you can kind of hug the shoulder blades under. Hold the hands here, tuck the chin to the chest, apply the root lock. So this again is bringing all of that cerebral spinal fluid we just charged with the fire breath into our brain. So we're gonna go for another round of fire breath here. So seal the lips, tongue to the roof of the mouth, pumping through the abdominals, only breathing through the nose. Begin. Ten more seconds, you've got it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale big. Squeeze the root lot even harder. Hold the breath. Lift the hips. Tuck the chin to the chest. Think about the cerebral spinal fluid flowing downwards towards the head. Hold, hold, hold. Exhale, release it down from the top of the spine all the way down to the bottom. Hug the knees to the chest, grab behind the knees, and just slowly start to rock. If you can, rock yourself all the way up to standing. All right, so we're gonna do what they call the big 8. You have 8 lymphatic choke points in your body. The collarbone, the sides of the neck, behind the ears, the armpits, behind the kidneys here to the front of the abdominals, this inguinal, so this is the pelvic area we talked about where most of the stagnation and backup happens, the belly button area, behind the knees, and then full body. So we're just gonna take a minute to go through all of these areas to clear them out. So it's a rub, a tap, and a circle. So just find your collarbone. This is choke point number 1. This is where everything first comes in. So anything you breathe in, anything you eat, anything you drink, this is first stop, okay? So we're rubbing, now just start to gently tap the collarbone, all of these lymph nodes here. So like I said, they don't have pumps, so you're just kind of helping them, and they're right below the skin, so they're surface area. So you don't have to do it super hard for this to work, and then gently just circle. All right, we're gonna move to the side of the neck and the ears, so bringing it in this downward area, starting from the ears down the sides of the neck. So this is like where a lot of the times when you're first getting sick and you'll notice these sore areas and you'll feel like these little bumps. That's these guys here. So we're rubbing, now we're tapping. And now we're circling. So just circle in this downward motion, starting at the top, under the ears, and all the way down. Okay, so now we're moving to the armpits. So just rub, they're your own armpits, so don't worry about it. Rubbing, tap, and then circle it out. Make sure you get the whole area, if you're a woman, sides of the breast here, because that's included in the armpit lymph nodes. Circle that out. All right, for the abdominal and kidney area, so you're gonna rub from the back to the front. Back of this kidney area, around to the front. So rub, tap, and circle. Belly button. So you're just gonna make like a little diamond here. On the inhale, push out with the belly, push in with the hand. Push hard. Two more. Groin area rub. Tap. And circle. All right, behind the knees, rub. Tap. And circle. All right, last one is for the whole body. So you wanna be bouncing. You don't wanna jump, like you don't want your feet to leave the ground. This is kind of like rebounding. So rebounding is one of the best exercises you can do. You just get a little mini trampoline and you bounce, and that opens up all the lymph ducts because it's the lack of gravity when you're on a rebounder. So this, we're mimicking it. It's not as good at opening the ducts as the actual rebounder is because we're still using gravity here without that bounce, but this is good enough for now. So just shake, let it all go. Just don't leave contact with the ground. All right, last move, our miracle bends. This is one of my favorites. This is working the life nerve. So the life nerve goes from the back of the head all the way down to the Achilles tendons. These long nerves are direct indicators of your longevity. You want pliable nerves. You don't want them too flexible. You don't want them too tight. You want them to, like a rubber band, it bounces back when you stretch it. So you don't want it to be like too flexible, but you don't want hard, stiff nerves. So this exercise works the longevity nerve basically. So you're gonna take an inhale, find that back bend, and then on the exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Gaze goes with you. Inhale big, exhale fold. So we're here for 2 minutes. If you can't reach the floor without bending your knees, grab some blocks that you can touch here. You want to find that back bend because that's going to be giving you that spinal mobility, but also pumping that cerebral spinal fluid to your brain. So this last exercise is kind of getting it all into the brain. Keep going. The hinge is coming from the hips. You have 10 seconds left. Last one, inhale big. Exhale, fold forward. Hang here, just hang. So try not to touch the ground. Let the traction of gravity pull the cervical vertebrae in the neck apart, just like a rag doll. Hang here. You're letting all that cerebral spinal fluid get into the brain. Bend the knees, come into a comfortable seated position. So we started with our palms on our knees, grounding our energy into our body. It's your choice, palms on the knees to close off and ground that energy back in. If you need some energy and you're seeking something, you can keep your palms up. But just close the eyes And let all that energy work we just did integrate into all the cells of the body. So just envision your spinal cord as this white column of light, and it's branching off into your endocrine system, into your organs, giving that healing light, that charged cerebrospinal fluid we just worked so hard on, bathing and healing every cell in your body. And I want you to envision that person you want to be. Think of your purpose, your dharma, what you came to this planet to do. That's the most important thing, because if you're not living your dharma, in my opinion, you're going to have to come back again and again until you get it right. So envision that purpose, that dharma. See it through that third eye. So really project your future, yourself, who you are, your true self, out through the third eye into the universe. That is truth. That is identity. Let that white light from the spinal cord extend out into your aura, protecting you from anything not meant to you. I always say, I want to be a clear channel for the highest and greatest good. So anything that's not in alignment with your highest and greatest good, this light's protecting you from. You're closing off your energy to anything that's not in alignment with your highest and greatest good. Slowly flutter the eyes open, hands in prayer at the heart. We finish every class with a collective Sat Nam. Sat Nam means I am truth, truth is my identity. So take a nice big inhale, yogis. Sat Nam. Sat Nam, yogis. Namaste.